7 weeks later, I was readmitted to the hospital because they had shut off my immune system when I went in at the end of January. They gave me medication to turn it off. Oh, wow. Right? So yeah, if you take enough steroids and different things like that, you can make the immune system suppress so much that it's not functioning.
Wow.
7 weeks later, I was readmitted with 104 temperature, needing emergency surgery to take an infection out of my face.
Wow.
Because the immune system would not fight.
Tell you, yeah. Oh my.
It didn't even help with the antibiotics. It would not fight.
Yeah.
And then the ulcers in my mouth. So they had to cut out ulcers in my mouth, take that out of my face. Okay. When I came out of that, I was just like a lump on a log mentally, because I was like, that just took the last of the fight I had, because I was not preparing myself mentally. I didn't learn how to replace my thoughts. I didn't learn how to even pay attention to them. Let's talk about replace them. I wasn't even paying attention to them. They were running rampant, okay? Yeah. Wild herd of elephants in my head going crazy. And finally, I said, wait, let me go see a therapist. And I went to go see him. And finally, we did a little bit. We did some stuff on that side of the house, but he was also a certified coach, which I didn't know at the time when I hired him. Okay. And we got to a certain point. He said, Nicole, there's nothing going on that side of the house. He said, but on this side of the house, we have some work to do.
Mental, yes.
And so he began to work with me. And he began to give me my assignments, and he gave me my affirmations. We actually used Who Am I in Christ, and we did all this stuff. And I had to commit to these things and go through this step by step. Yes. And then I'm going to steal your word again, Palmonia, and then the shift happened.
Absolutely. It's not my word, honey. It's the divine word that's given, because we all need that.
Listen to me. And it began to put me in a place where, okay, it's not that I'm constantly looking for ghosts where they're not, am I sick? Oh, that's a pain. Is that an ache? It's not that. It's that I'm always at a place where I am building myself mentally. Absolutely. Because I know this is coming. You talked about strategically doing it. I, at that point, had stopped living my life in neutral, and I had begun to take control.
Yes.
And it's more of a mental thing. People always think when I think about that, I'm talking about physical. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about up here.
That's where the battle is.
That's where, oh my dear, that is where it's at. Because if you're not, because doctors, they come into the room, like last year when I was in the hospital, and they came into the room and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm sitting on the bed like, what we got? What's next? What are we doing? Because I'm at that place where this is reality. This is what I prepared. I know what to say to myself and how to say it, and I know what we're going to do. Give me something to do. Don't sit there and just stay in that realm of emotional distraught. Yes. Let's go forward. And so they were actually, and it's so interesting now because they are some of the biggest cheerleaders for my business. I just had a check with them last week. One of them came to me. He's like, I watched your last show. It was really good. He's not even an entrepreneur.
He doesn't have to be. Whether or not we realize it, God places us in a position to help shift these people. Because I have another young lady that, not to cut you, my apologies, she's a coach, and she was in the room. Her dad had been sick. They were in Atlanta. And she said she's in the room. She was so exhausted because she's been running for days, and she actually took a nap. And in the dream, she said she heard footsteps running and them saying he's dead. And as soon as that happened, her sister ran into the room. Daddy's dead. And she ran barefooted through the hallway. And of course, her sister is a marine biologist. So she's telling her, you know how much germs you're going to pick up running barefooted with her? And she ran, and she said she got in the room, and they're pronouncing her dead. And she goes, no, he's not dead. No, he's not dead. And, pounding and started praying. Da, 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 da. And her dad gasped and actually woke up. And she said one of the doctor that was trying to restrain or whatever, she said she turned to him and she said, you at one point used to believe, and you kind of need to get back to that faith. So sometimes the experiences that we experience unfortunate as it may be, there is at least, and I believe so much in the power of one. There's at least one
Yes,
person
ma'am.
that's going to come in contact with you that needs to have your story, needs to have your connection, needs to have your touch. And it's unfortunate that he'll just design some weirdo. I'm like, okay, couldn't I kind of meet them a nicer way?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. But it shifts something for them. It
Yes.
shifts them into, because now here's the a weird way of looking at it. If something should happen to that individual now, hey, now entrepreneurship may be an option, whereas before he'd never thought of it.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Because now you're sowing a seed and you're planting something into it, and they're cheerleading. But not only do they cheerlead, I'm sure they probably now, instead of medication and go home and take a bottle, hey,
Yeah.
how about trying a new job? How about starting your own business? So they are unintentionally prescribing something outside of the norm, and they may not even be aware of it.
Yes. Yes.
You
I
get what I'm
see
saying?
that. Yes.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that. It kind of, it's kind of the place that I was in the beginning, where I was like, Lord, if I have to go through this, let it be for your glory. And then I came across a scripture that says that the things that we go through are not just for us. And so as you're putting that, that is repeating in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, I had never looked at that perspective of, yeah, maybe this doc may need to think outside the box at some point. And so the seed is being planted.
Absolutely.
And so it's just understanding that the things we go through, and I think that's another thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing that really drives me and keeps me, is that when I'm going through, I'm always thinking, okay, this is not about me. This is going to help somebody else.
Yes.
You know, and I begin to pay attention to, okay, how am I going through this? What am I thinking? How am I feeling? And what did I do? You know, because I do have moments. There's sometimes it's more just out of being tired. Like, I'm just tired of being in the hospital.
Nation, thank you for stopping by and tuning in today's broadcast. This is your host, Palmonia Gordon. Just wanted to say a special thank you. And just a quick reminder that if you like the information that you got today, 2 thumbs up. Well, I'm not even asking for one. 2 thumbs up. Subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. Share the information with a friend, with a family member, with a co-worker, anyone you feel can receive some value from the information. And I encourage you that, like the second hand on the clock, you will keep taking tiny moves that will keep you moving towards your goal. I love you. God bless you. Thank you for stopping by, and see you again tomorrow. Have a good day.